Big Mike here with
Hayes Entertainment.
today's episode. We got Canucks legend Darcy Rota. Here we go, guys.
If you're looking for a mug, perhaps a hoodie, head on over to IOnlyTouchGreatness.com.
Hi, I'm Darcy Rota, Vancouver Canuck Alumni. I Only Touch Greatness podcast. Great to be here.
Hayes Entertainment exclusive.
Exchanging blows. Darcy Rota it up. Here's a scrap. Gary Howard mixing it up with Darcy Rota. Time and again to the center ice, but all the room is up the middle. A left hand by Darcy Rota, throwing punches. It's Trevor Johansson and Darcy Rota. Now they're in a wrestling stance. Rota's helmet is off. Rota has full command of this one, Jim. Johansson's very strong, though. He's stocky and short, but Rota was the aggressor in the fight. Malinka thought the play had been called offside. Lindy Ruff, okay, Rota throw punches with Darcy Rota. Now Rota and Ruff, and little Rota can go. He may be overmatched in size and weight, but not in heart. Well, he's not considered, I don't think, as tough as Ruff is. Now the line can move in between Lindy Ruff and Darcy Rota.
Hey, guys. Can you hear
How
me?
you doing?
Yeah, we can hear you.
How you doing?
Good. Thank you for
Good.
taking the time.
Let me just turn this a little louder here. Talk a little bit, Barb.
Hey,
That's good.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, super. So who's Mike and who's who here?
I'm Big Mike.
Big Mike,
and I'm
okay.
Ryan.
and I'm
What's the name?
Ryan.
I'm sorry?
I'm Ryan.
Ryan. Okay, it's right there.
I've met you before last year with my season tickets.
Yeah, your face looks familiar, Ryan.
I'm also the Don Cherry guy that dresses up as Don Cherry. Yeah.
Yeah, so what's you guys' connection? Just good buddies?
Yeah, we're good buddies. Yeah.
And then because of COVID, we're not allowed to record in the same room anymore. So
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I told you I worked at Safeway when I was 16 years old in Prince George. There used to be 3 stores up there, and I worked at before I left to start my hockey journey in Edmonton.
Wow. Okay.
So let me just give you a little. I'm in my office, and of course, in behind me, I've got 3 jerseys that I've got hanging here. This is the All-Star one from '84 when I played an '84 game in New Jersey. And
Yeah.
then up here, I've got my Blackhawk one.
Wow.
And in behind, I've got my Canuck one.
Nice.
So, and then over here, I got all kinds of different things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm
Well,
pretty
thank
proud
you very
of-
much. Thank you very much, Darcy, for taking the time for us today and coming on. We really appreciate that.
My pleasure, guys. My pleasure.
So you were born in Vancouver, but you played your minor hockey in Prince George. Is that correct?
Well, actually, I was born in Vancouver, correct? And then we moved to Kelowna when I was 7 for 4 years, and that's where I started playing my minor hockey in Kelowna. And then
Okay.
Prince George when I was 11. But I consider myself really where I grew as a hockey player at Prince George.
Okay. Did you play any other sports growing up?
I played lots of different sports, baseball, soccer, football, golf. Now I'm very passionate about golf. That's the one sport I continue to play.
Okay. Who would you say the biggest influencers were in your career?
Well, for sure, Big Mike, my parents were very supportive of me and wanting to reach a goal playing the National Hockey League. And, but at the end of the day, you have to want it. And interesting enough, in my hockey office here, also, I've got my school dictionary from grade 4. And when I was younger growing up, there was only 6 teams in the National Hockey League. So in here, you'll see some writing.
Yeah.
It says, when I grow up, I want to play in the National Hockey League, the Chicago Blackhawks, Darcy Rota, grade 4.
Wow.
So pretty special to reach that dream of playing the National Hockey League for original
And for the Chicago Blackhawks. Yeah.
Yeah, and But you talk about, when I went to Chicago, guys like Stan Mikita, Keith Magnuson, Cliff Corral, Pitt Martin, Doug Jarrett, Phil Russell, lots of guys, Chico Mackey were just really Dale Talon, instrumental in my growth as a young player.
Okay.
Oh,
And
what
why'd
were
you
some
wear 18?
challenges? Sorry, Mike.
No, I was just going to say, why'd you wear number 18?
Well, it's interesting. I always wore 16 as a youngster growing up. It was always my favorite number, I guess, because I was born on the 16th day of February. And so when I went to play my junior hockey at Edmonton, I got 16. When I went to Chicago, 16 was taken. It was Chico Mackey my first year. And so 18 was open. They gave me 18. And the next year I thought, well, maybe I can change to 16. So I went into Coach Billy Ray's office. I knocked on his door and he said, come in. I says, Coach Ray, can I switch numbers from 18 to 16? It's always been my number. He says, no, you go make 18 famous. So he wouldn't. And then ironically, when I got traded to Atlanta, 18 was open. I got traded to Vancouver, 18 was open. So guess what my favorite number is now?
18.
You got it.
What was some challenges you came across in getting into the NHL?
Well, Ryan, they're all great questions, but that's a really one that I love telling when I talk at minor hockey events and minor hockey banquets, because I never made a rep team until I was my second year bantam. I was always kind of one of the last cuts from the rep team in Pee Wee, my 2 years in Pee Wee and Prince George, and my first year bantam was the last guy cut from the rep team. And then my second year bantam made the team. So when I hear kids, well, I've made the rep team in Adam or Pee Wee, I said, I never made a rep team till my second year bantam. And after that, things really took off for me. But I really dedicated and I wanted it and I was driven. And our team in Prince George won the BC Midget AAA Championship when I was 16 and then went on to play Junior B. But I would say that probably was as big as obstacle as anything, is that I never made a rep team. And after that, it just really worked for me.
And then you went and played your junior out in Edmonton for the Oil Kings. You were an absolute sniper out there. Played twice in the Memorial Cup. What was that like?
Yeah, that was kind of neat. I went to Edmonton because of Bob and Ted McAneely, who had played there prior to me. And Ted went on to play in the National Hockey League with California Golden Seals. They were Prince George boys. And education was really important to our family and to me. And I knew Edmonton really focused on education. So went there and was able to make the team as a walk-on. And was able to score 40 plus goals my first year, and then went to the Memorial Cup that year, played against Guy Lafleur, and of course they beat us. But back then it was a big rival. The fact that Quebec City and St. Catharines had a playoff before ours with the Oil Kings, and there was talk that there may not be a Memorial Cup, but in the day we had one, and we went to Quebec and they beat us. I think if we had them at Edmonton, we might have beat them. And then was the first time ever of the round robin Memorial Cup was played in Ottawa, and Cornwall won it. My old teammates, Richard Brodeur and BJ McDonald, were on that Cornwall team. And but yeah, so it's a couple of nice years. And then my third year, we lost out, didn't make it we did well, but didn't make it to the Memorial Cup.
Still, to say you played in the Memorial Cup twice, that's pretty amazing fact.
Yeah, for sure.
Who was your sports hero growing up?
Well, that's. I would think that since I wanted to be a Blackhawk, I think Stan Mikita was a real inspiration to me, and then Bobby Hull being on the Chicago Blackhawks, another real inspiration to me, Ryan. And when I went to Chicago and I was working through training camp, I was put on a line with Stan Mikita and Cliff Corral on the right side. They're looking for a left winger, and I can't say enough how Stan treated me, first class. And so I would say probably Mikita growing up was a real hero of mine and someone I admired. He wasn't real big, but he was feisty and of course a Hall of Famer, and was a big part of my life.
Oh, incredible player.
Absolutely.
And then take me back to draft day where you were selected 13th overall to the Chicago Blackhawks. Did you know they were interested back then? Like, was there a lot of meetings and that kind of stuff? Like,
it was a lot different back then, Big Mike. The draft was held in Montreal in a boardroom. I was in Prince George. I was asked by the local radio station to come down and kind of listen to the draft. And it was way different back then in 1973, and not the communication and tweeting and things they have, of course, internet today. And I was projected to go first round, late first round, early second round. That was kind of, I knew Chicago had interest. I thought Buffalo might be the team that was picking before Chicago might take me. They took Morris Titanic, and then I was picked by Chicago. I remember going on the radio and they wanted me to talk about Dennis Potvin, Tom Wysiak, Dennis Ververgaert, Landon McDonald, John Davidson, Bob Gainey, guys picked before me. And of course, I'm just sitting there nervous and twingy. Is it going to happen? What's going to happen? And I'm on talking about these guys on the radio. And all of a sudden, there's a knock on the window at the radio station where I'm on the air. Darcy, you've been drafted. And of course, it just was so exciting. And to hear from that Chicago drafted me, and then Tommy Ivan, the general manager, gave me a call, and just a real thrill.
Well, what was the biggest transition for you going from the Edmonton Oil Kings to the Chicago Blackhawks?
I would think the speed of hockey, a lot faster from junior hockey, and guys are bigger and just stronger, and just the whole transition of making that next step to the greatest league in the world, the National Hockey League, and probably that the speed of it all was really unbelievable.
If you could sit down for dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh boy, who would I like to have dinner with? Yeah, that's a tough one. I got to meet Muhammad Ali in Chicago one day, and just very briefly, and of course he was the greatest. He'd be one that I'd like to just pick his brain to see what his life was all about. So he would be one for sure.
That's my choice always. That's always my choice. Yeah.
Oh, great minds think alike.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You then were traded to the Atlanta Flames. What was it like being here, like hearing that you were dealt? First time, obviously.
Well, yeah, I was really surprised at that, guys. When I got traded from Chicago to Atlanta in March of '79, my contract was up. And that summer, Cliff Fletcher, in July with my agent, we agreed on a 5-year contract. So I finished the year strong in Atlanta. I think I played 13 games, got like 14 or 15 points or something, and had the money not like it is today, but it was good money. And so I figured I'd be in Atlanta for 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years. And 8 months later, we're on a road trip on a West Coast swing with the Flames, flying to Edmonton, ironically Edmonton. And we get to the hotel, and as we're getting off the bus, David Poyle, who's now the general manager of Nashville, assistant GM at Atlanta, calls me aside and tells me in the hotel lobby, "You've been traded from Atlanta." Are you talking about Atlanta to Vancouver? I'm sorry.
I was talking about to Atlanta, but it's okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, my in the lobby of Edmonton, was told by David Poyle I was traded to Vancouver, and with Ivan Bolder, who was my closest friend in Chicago, got traded to Atlanta together, and of course Vancouver.
And coming home to your hometown team, what was that like?
Well, guys, I explain my career with 3 teams kind of like this. My nearly 6 years with the Blackhawks, unbelievably special. That the fact is that I was going to the original 6 team, a team that I wrote grade 4, that if I could play in the National Hockey League, that was the team I was hoping to play for. So that was special. I go to Atlanta. I call it just a great cup of coffee that was signed to a 5-year contract with. Was there 11 months. And then to get traded to Vancouver. When I left in 1970 from Prince George to play junior hockey at Edmonton, the Canucks were joining the National Hockey League. And I always wondered, what if? What if I ever became a Vancouver Canuck? And lo and behold, in February 1980, I was traded to Vancouver. And talk about the what ifs. It was a dream totally come true.
And then your first full season here, you put up your best career so far with 25 goals and 56 points. What contributed to that, you think?
Yeah, I think they've just given more of an opportunity to play in some key situations. And In Atlanta, I was playing probably third line. Here I was playing top 6 forward minutes, and just everything kind of came together for me. And I was considered an offensive player coming out of junior hockey, and I scored 20 goals, like 8 or 9 of my 11 years in the National Hockey League, but just given the opportunity to play in offensive situations.
And then that was 1982, correct? Is that when Harry Neal had an altercation with Quebec with a fan, and then Roger Nielsen took over? Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. We were on a road trip. We were playing in, my memory serves me, in Washington, Montreal, and Quebec City, and there was a bit of a fight by our bench, and Tiger Williams was in a bit of a bout, and Harry Neal went into the stands to kind of protect Tiger, and got suspended for 10 games, and Roger took over, and of course everything just went so well after that. Roger was a great strategist, way ahead of his time in regards to nickname Captain Video. We were so prepared for every game, every playoff game, and it just was really neat.
And that's why he's got a statue outside Rogers or GM
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Did you have a favorite road stadium to go, or city?
Well, I tell you what, and I brought this to show you guys too, is that, to play in the National Hockey League, as I've said, was a dream come true. And of course, going back to play in Chicago Stadium after being traded from the Blackhawks was really neat, really special. I mean, you go to New York City, the Madison Square Garden, the rink starts on the 5th floor. You imagine looking at a tower and thinking the rink starts on the 5th floor, the main levels of train station and different things on different levels. But going back to play in Chicago was probably the most special thing for me, to go back to an old arena where I played. And when they tore the stadium down in 90, they closed it in 94, and I think they tore it down in 95. A few months after it was torn down, our doorbell rings at my house here, and it's Federal Express. And they got this big package. And the guy was a big hockey fan, recognized my name, and said, "You mind if I stay here?" He said, "It was some Chicago Blackhawks. Will I open it?" And I said, "Absolutely." I've got it right here. It was a chair from the Chicago Stadium with my name and number on it.
Wow.
So it sits in my office with great pride. It's an old chair.
Wow.
Rickety.
That is cool. That is unique.
Yeah. So I guess Chicago would be my favorite place to visit after I was traded, just because of the memories I have there. And, winning Game 5 in the Stanley Cup 82 was pretty special too.
Yeah, take me back to the 1982 Stanley Cup Finals. Can you take me back to series by series if possible?
Yeah, the first series was against Calgary, and it was one that, we came into the playoffs very, very hot. I think we had gone 9 games during the last 9 games, undefeated, 6 wins and 3 ties. Didn't play overtime back then. So we went in the playoffs feeling pretty good about ourselves. We beat Calgary in straight games. Then we played LA, and I think we beat them in 5. Or 6, yeah, was it 5? And then
5.
And then Chicago, where history took place with the Canuck organization. The first 2 games were played in Chicago, the old stadium, and Jim Nill scored the overtime winner in Game 1. And then, of course, Game 2, halfway through the third period, is when White Towel Power was born, where Roger Nielsen was not happy with the way the officiating was going, the refereeing was going, and grabbed a stick and a towel on the bench and raised it. And a couple other guys did the same thing. I was just kind of coming off the ice, if I recall. I'm like, what's going on here? And Roger got thrown out of the game, and we lost that game. And of course, coming back to Vancouver, that's when White Towel Power was born. And at the airport, the people at the airport, the workers at the airport, the fans were there to see us wearing white towels. And you guys weren't even around probably back then.
That would have been so cool.
And the 60,000 plus fans
right?
at the first game back was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
And then
I'm 83 born, so.
So you were just thought of that back then.
Yeah, it's a sparkle in Dad's eye.
And then, and then, of course, to continue on, We won the next 2 games here. So we're up 3-1. So we go back to Chicago for game 5. If we win that, it's the first time the Canucks in their 12-year history would ever reach the Stanley Cup final. And to go in there and beat them 6-2, I scored the 5th goal partway through the 3rd period to kind of salt the game away. As I say, it's probably the biggest goal of my hockey life. And of course, I had like, I don't know, 30 or 40 good friends at the game. And my dad was there. I brought him down for the game. And it just was very, very special. And we, of course, went to play the Islanders. And, they were a great team, no question. I think we had a little more time to prepare for them. Might have been different. We had to leave right from there, go to New York to play the Islanders. And, give them full credit. But that 82 run is the highlight of my hockey life for sure, guys.
Okay.
Absolutely. And they had a stacked team. Those
Yeah, they had a stack.
in 80, they did. You froze there for a second. And then in 82, 83, you had your career year playing on a line with Stan the Steamer Smeal and Thomas Gradine, putting up 42 goals and 81 points, which was a Canucks record before Naslund broke it. What was it like holding that?
Yeah, that was pretty special. To score first Canuck ever to score 40 goals in an NHL season. Ron Settlebauer was the first to score 40, and I was able to break that record. Was pretty neat. Got it. It just was a year that things went really well for Stan and Thomas and I. We just really clicked as a line. I think each one of us had our best years ever offensively in the National Hockey League. And, again, talk about a dream season for me, besides the 82 run, that was pretty neat, pretty special for sure.
And then the next season, obviously the jersey on the back there, the All-Star game. What was it like playing the All-Star game?
Yeah, that was in I guess February or January of 84 in New Jersey. I was named to play in the All-Star game. And yeah, the picture back there is my All-Star or is my All-Star jersey. And of course I wanted 18, but Denny Savard, and what they do is that whoever's been on an All-Star game more gets the choice, the priority. So Savard had 18 and I got 17, which is right next to it. And ironically, I played on a line with Denny Savard, and there's a picture up there, right here, if you can see, of me scoring a goal in the game and Denny Savard getting the assist. So how ironic is that?
That's awesome.
And there's the team picture there of people like Gretzky and, Dave Babbage was on the team, and lots of great players. Glenn Anderson,
Wow.
Coffey. Yeah, it was pretty neat.
I definitely remember those jerseys from when Gretzky was wearing it. I remember seeing that stacked lineup.
Yeah. I like you guys' jerseys, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
What I do when I go to different events, and I get asked a lot to go to different events, bear with me. I've seen you've got the 2 different jerseys on here. Well, this is the jersey, of course, I wore, right?
Yeah.
Old Flying V. And the question I have whenever I go is, which one do you like better? And Ryan, you could ask me first, the dark, black, or the gold? They both are my jerseys, my name on it.
Yeah.
Which one do you like better? And I'll tell you kind of what the overall result is.
Yeah, I honestly like the 50th season edition.
The black one, this is the one I wore throughout the this one here, the gold?
Yeah, I like the yellow one.
Yeah. I like the gold one too.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
You guys, I tell you what, generally speaking, people that are 15 and under like this one.
Yeah.
People over 15 like the black one.
Okay.
Because the black one's what they remember.
Exactly.
True story.
Yeah.
And then you suffered a nasty neck injury by a check by Jay Wells, the LA Kings. And then you came back for the playoffs there for a bit, but you were never really the same. And then you ended up having to have spinal fusion surgery and eventually called it quits. Did you wish you got to play a couple more seasons?
Yeah. I mean, injuries, as we know, guys, is part of the business and happens. And yeah, it was Jay Wells he was playing with Los Angeles, hit with a good hard. He was a good body checker, hip checker, and I went up and over him. And when he hit me and down on my shoulder and neck, and I knew something was not right. And so kind of took some time off, played the rest of the year, and then it was diagnosed I needed a spinal fusion, and got that done in June of '84. And the rehab was slow. The surgeon told me clearly that everything should be fine health-wise, but playing hockey, I don't know. He said, I think it's a good chance, but we'll just play that by ear. And I remember on my rehab program, I started skating on my own in September, and then I knew I couldn't play potentially until December. And it got to the point, like in late November, I was able to practice with the team, and the last step was full body contact. And after about, I think the third or fourth time, I got hit, and I felt some discomfort, and I got scared. And I went to our trainer, Larry Ashley, who was a fantastic guy, and told him the situation. He said, let's get you to see the specialist again. So I went and saw the specialist and told him I had some discomfort. And he said, Darcy, he says, your neck is fine. To take a hit may do it some more damage down the road, and you can live a normal life, and it's your call. And I said to him, Doc, I said, and I asked him, Larry Ashley, Ross Davidson, and Dave Harris. I went and saw each one of them after. And the last question I asked them, they all knew my situation, my spinal fusion. So I said to the surgeon, would you go back and play if you're in my position, my situation? And I asked that to him, to Ross Davidson, to Dave Harris, who are all doctors with the Canucks, and Larry Ashley. And they all said, no, that you can live a normal, healthy life. You can do what you want, but the chance of doing this again. And what they do, they take a bone from my hip back then and take the bone and go clean your disc out and put the, yeah, it's brutal. And to this day, I live pain-free and life is good. And I'm an avid golfer, as I say. So it was a tough decision, but each one of them said, no, how stupid I've been. I said, oh, yeah, you guys all say, no, 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 no. And I go, I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to go play. So I made the decision to hang it up.
No, you definitely made the right decision. That's for sure.
Definitely when it comes to your health.
Yeah, I agree, Ryan, that, health is, as you get older in life, you guys are a lot younger than me, that it's vital.
Yeah, well, you still had an awesome career. I mean, putting up 256 goals, 239 points for 495 points in 794 games. You can't really ask for much better than that.
Yeah, it was pretty special, and to be as a BC boy and to play, for Chicago, a short time in Atlanta, and here in Vancouver, it's pretty neat. And to see you guys both wear those Canuck jerseys is. What number you got on there? It's an assistant captain. Who's that? You got Horvat, I see. Who's that?
Mine's the Pavel from the 94 the playoff.
Really? Was he 10 or 96 back then?
He's 10 in this jersey. He didn't change to 96 till 96.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. That's a good trivia question. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then you had your own fan groups, the Roto Rooters. That must have been cool.
Yeah, that was neat. That was kind of a fan club, the Roto Rooters, and wherever I was, and the guys used to call me wherever I played the mayor, because wherever I went to different cities, people always kind of would come up to me after the game and talk to me, and so my nickname was the mayor back then. I said, I'm not the mayor, I'm the honorary mayor.
Do you have a favorite movie about sports?
Favorite movie about sports? Well, that's, I can't think of anyone that comes to. I like the one with the golfer. What's the one?
Happy Gilmore.
Thank you very much. Because good. Because I do a lot of charity event where I'm at golf terms. I'm a low handicapper, so I get asked to do lots of different charity golf where I'm at a par 3 for the day, and I do a hockey shot. I bring everything with me. I bring hockey sticks and a miniature hockey net at the par 3, and we have a little contest with all the groups. And then we have a golf shot competition. So I call it the Happy Gilmore Rota Hole.
I like it.
So yeah, I would say that's probably my favorite show.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. It's a good one.
And then it's a good one, yeah. And it was filmed right here too, wasn't it? Most of it.
Exactly. Yeah, part of it was filmed at Swanee Set. That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, he never believed me. I always tell that story to people when they say that, and that it was filmed at Swanee Set. So.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right.
Because we're all from Coquitlam, about a couple blocks away from the arena. So.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, we're just up from the Vancouver golf course. I'm like literally touching the Vancouver golf course.
Oh, yeah, I'm a member there since 1985. After I retired.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
we're always in the John B having drinks.
Are you?
Yeah.
well, I know the owner, John Lipinski, used to be my neighbor here in Coquitlam too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My son likes going there too. How's it been over COVID? You guys been up there?
Oh yeah, I was there last night or New Year's Eve.
Is it busy?
It's busy, but they do everything safely and they take the right precautions. You wear your mask to your table. They seat you. No going from table to table. It's all safe.
Yeah, I haven't been going out at all. I've been staying home. I've been the homebody. I've been staying after my work week. I come home Friday and it's like I'm not leaving the house. I buy enough groceries for the weekend. I don't want to go out.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I've been, I'm looking forward to this being over down the road here soon. It's been tough. I mean, the golf has been my one area where I can go and play, and of course the weather now just is brutal. So,
a few years after hanging them up, you took a bunch of roles with the Canucks, and then and you worked for the NHL as well. What was it like doing that and transitioning? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was when I retired in December of '84. The Canucks were first class. They had a night for me at the arena. I've got a framed photo of my action shot in my office here that they gave me. It was very, very special. And Arthur Griffiths wanted me to stay in the organization, and Jack Gordon was the general manager at that point. And so I did special assignment scouting, and we were looking at draft picks. So, and Fredericton was our farm team in the AHL. So spent a lot of time doing that. And then when Pat Quinn took over in, I think it was 87, he analyzed the whole organization, and he asked me, met with me and said, would I head up the PR media relations department? He'd like to be a former player, and being a BC boy, he says, knowing your history, you'd be a natural. So I said, sure. Hadn't done nothing like that. So did that and quite enjoyed that. And then in 1990, I was asked by the National Hockey League to go to the World Hockey Championships to act as the media relations for all NHL players who were playing the World Championships in Bern, Switzerland. And John Ziegler was coming over, the president at that point of the National Hockey League. And so before John came, I got hold of him and gave him an update on what was taking place and things like that. And I guess, not to my knowledge, but he was looking for someone to come in and in a new role to be special assistant to him in a lot of different areas. And so initially I said, when Pat Quinn and Arthur met with me and said, Ziegler's going to give you a call and offer you this job. And I said, I'm happy with my job here. I'm happy in Vancouver. And Pat said, Darcy, who knows where this could go? You'd be probably foolish not to take the opportunity. I said, okay. So I kind of thought about it, and John called me, and we talked a couple of times, and finally I said I would come. And it was the very early stages of the discipline one that now, like Brian Burke did, I forget who's doing it now, but
Shanahan, I think.
Yeah, Shanahan did it, and now it's the big guy. What's his name? The kind of heavyweight in the discipline.
George Peros.
What's that?
George Peros.
That's right. Correct. Thank you. So it was a very early stage of that. Brian O'Neill was doing it, but that was kind of part of the role that John saw me doing. So I was involved with a bit of that. But also I did a lot of community and PR and events for the league and made presentations and things like that. But that was the early stages of that. And then John's role, of course, changed. And when that changed, I thought, my goal initially was, I knew expansion was coming to the West Coast, was to get a West Coast office. And I thought maybe Vancouver might be a good spot. And I talked to John about that, and he was quite open for it. And of course, then things changed with him, and he got ousted. And the question I have for you guys are good at trivia.
Yeah.
Who took over between John Ziegler Gary Bettman. For the
Like in between?
Yeah, in between. Short term. He was legal counsel for the National Hockey League.
Alan Eagleson.
Wrong.
Oh.
You're not going to even hear this guy. I bet.
I have no idea.
Gil Stein.
Wow. Okay. Who is that?
He was legal counsel for the NHL
Okay.
when I was there. But yeah, he took over for the interim. You Google that after, you'll see.
I will.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get the
And then
stats person to take the note on that.
You guys are good at stats, though. I can tell.
Yeah, until but most of the stuff we had to be born for.
And then you worked as a commentator with the man, the myth, the legend, Jim Robson. What was that like?
Yeah, that was really, again, unreal. Just different opportunities came up for me in the hockey world, and when I got back, I was approached by BC TV about being the analyst, and they're looking for one, and did that for a couple of years and enjoyed it. But things again changed. It was nothing that I think Jim was retiring. I think at that point, I thought, well, maybe it's time for me to look at something. I was approached by CBC to do a post-game show on Hockey Night in Canada, and that was interesting. It was challenging, to be the host of a show, but it was good.
And then here's one for you, Darcy.
Okay.
In 2000, you took over the Burnaby Bulldogs coaching. Check this baby out.
Wow, there you go. Very good. Yes, that was our jersey. Where'd you get that?
I used to go to every game. My dad took me to every single Burnaby Bulldogs game. I went to every game.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was like in '98, and I was speaking at and how that came about. I was speaking at the Prince George was hosting the All-Star game for the BCHL up in Prince George. I was asked to be the guest speaker, and while I was there, the group that was putting this together, I met, and I knew a couple of them, Pat DeLaSalle and his brother Tim DeLaSalle, and they started talking to me that, we're looking for a coach and a manager. Never done that before. I've had all these different challenges and different things I've done. So I said, well, let's talk about it, because they kind of mentioned to me, and I said, well, let's talk about get back to Vancouver and then talk more about it. And I'd never coached before, and so that's what took place, and I did that for a couple of years, and I realized that I lived in Coquitlam, and I really wanted to see a junior hockey team in Coquitlam. That was really kind of my desire and hope and goal, and I put together a group which included Pat and Tim DeLaSalle, and went and talked to John Kingsbury, the mayor, and said to him, John, would you support a junior A hockey team in Coquitlam? I'm thinking, I've got a group here, I'm working on a group here. And he said, Darcy, 100% I'd support you. And so that really, I walked out of that meeting, and I remember calling Pat DeLaSalle, who was kind of my right-hand guy. And I said, Pat, Mayor John Kingsbury, I want to meet with him, as you know, has said to me he will support us. Let's get this done. And then kind of went from there, and I wanted some time to put the team together and have a name the team contest and things like that. So it was good.
Yeah, that's when you took over as part owner, GM, president. You were running the show.
Chief bottle washer.
Exactly. And then you built the team that won the 2006 Royal Bank Cup. What a team that was. Take me back to winning that championship.
Yeah, that was really, really neat. Big Mike. We were in Coquitlam, and I remember John Kingsbury approaching me and said, Darcy, we got a dilemma here. We're in a situation where we got to renovate the rink. It's been here for a long time, and we're sick about this because you guys are a great tenant, but you've got to leave for a few years. And we were getting better as a team too, and so we approached Burnaby, and they were open about us coming, which was, again, very, very nice. Went in there, and we had just a magical year the first year there, and of course won the national championship. And had people like Kyle Turris and a list of guys that were just phenomenal for us and really rose to the occasion. And besides the '82 run, the that would go down as my non-NHL highlight for sure.
Okay. I was gonna.
And like Ryan, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I've been around one, and I played in the old Coquitlam Arena. So then, when this new Coquitlam Arena, they got rid of the old annex building, and what were you a part of the whole getting the new building as well?
I was. I mean, being part of of getting it done.
Yeah.
Not really. No. We were drawing quite well then. I think we're drawing about 1,100 people a game. It was a tough place to play. It was kind of an intimidating building for players from other teams to come in. I kind of liked the atmosphere of it all. And then I remember when I was approached and told what was taking place, it was tough for all of us because we just love. I mean, I live less than 10 minutes from the rink.
Yeah.
And I've been in Coquitlam since I retired from the Canucks. I moved here in basically '87. I was living in Burnaby at that point, and then joined Vancouver Golf Club, as I say, in '85, and bought my house here in '87. So it was a big move, and then of course Burnaby loved having us there, but my thought process, in all due respect, was always to come back to Coquitlam. And when the rink was ready, is when they approached us, and we went through kind of the transition. Our group, should we do it, not do it? We're really, Burnaby's good to us, but we said from the start when we moved that we'd probably like to come back to Coquitlam.
Okay. And then we can't thank you as much as fans. We love how much you volunteer for all the charity events and all the fundraiser, all the alumni events. We've met you a million times. You're always the nicest guy meeting and talking to. We really do appreciate that. What's it like running the alumni?
It's been awesome. When we sold the Coquitlam Express in 2015, the Canucks alumni have been after me to kind of sit on their board and get more involved. And I just said, when the time's right, I'll do that. And so after we sold, I was approached by the Canuck alumni to sit on the board. So I've been on the board for, I guess, 6 years now, and I'm on the executive. Myself, Bob Murray's our president, Dave Babbage, Yuki Liu, and myself. And then we've got 6 former Canucks, people like Dennis Kearns, Kurt McLean, Cliff Ronning, John Grisdale on that board also. So we're about British Columbia and giving back to all our different charities and communities. And me being a BC boy, it's just been phenomenal. I love the fact that I'm here in Vancouver and here in Coquitlam and throughout BC. I can go do things, and I love traveling and giving back, as you say. And that's what our alumni is all about, is giving back. And the Canucks treat us first class. We've got an alumni suite that we can go to any game we want, and they encourage us there. And the Canucks have me do all kinds of appearances. And, we have a wonderful, wonderful relationship with our alumni and the Vancouver Canucks. It's first class.
Well, as fans, we really do appreciate that. Trust me, we like meeting you guys and getting to chat with you guys. And another alumni member that we lost this year, the late Jack Maglharty. That was a tough one. I always tell the story that anytime I've ever met the guy, when you met Jack Maglharty, when you shake that guy's hand, when he shook your hand, he shook your hand.
Yeah, Jack was a wonderful guy. It was, as you say, very sad that we lost Jack this summer, and he was only 68 years old. And Jack was a character, quality guy, and we all loved Bucky, is his nickname. And he's a big loss for our alumni. He was on our board too, and someone I dealt with regularly, and just a real tough loss. You're absolutely right. Life is special, and Jack's a big loss.
Definitely.
And it was about this time last year that we were at Hockey Fights Homeless, and you guys were all there doing the alumni stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I was dressed as Don Cherry that time, I think.
Is that UBC?
Yeah, out of UBC. Yeah, and so I was out there dressed as Don Cherry, and you were there, and Jack was there as well, and
Dennis Kearns, Kirk McLean. Yeah,
everybody was there, and it was a great event you guys put on there.
Yeah, that's something that we really cherish, and it's been fun for us to be involved. And Hockey Helps the Homeless, and unfortunately it couldn't happen this year because of COVID, but hopefully next year it'll happen again, and you can come out as Don Cherry again.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Have you had any meetups with Don Cherry ever over the years?
Yeah, I've met Don a few times. I haven't seen him lately, but I've met Don a few times over the year, and it's just too bad he's not in Hockey Night Canada. I used to love his first period intermission stuff and what he had to say, and yeah, he's been fun to watch over the years, and he's over 80 now, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's a coming of the times to see him be moved out of there.
Over all the years, how many controversial stuff he's said, and then they just take this one and they run with it. It kind of felt like they kind of wanted him out, and this was kind of like the last little salt on the wound.
Yeah, you're probably right. He said some things over the years, and that's why people probably like listening to him. But he was also a very giving person. You could see his feeling towards the veterans, particularly. He just was when I was home, if I could possibly watch that first period intermission, I wanted to watch it. He was always great to watch. How about you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, no, absolutely.
I was definitely the same way, where I would always make sure I didn't miss first intermission. You can miss the second one, that's fine, but I'm not missing first intermission. It always came on about 4:45 our time.
Yeah. So tell me about some of the stuff you get in the background there. What are some of the pictures?
My pictures?
Yeah. Mike first here.
Mine are all the Canucks. So I got like Gaudette, Virtanen, Quinn Hughes, Demko, Miller, most of the current guys. And then in my spare room, I got all my legends like you, Thomas Gradine, Jack Maglhardy, all those guys. But probably my favorite picture is this middle one. It's Todd Bertuzzi, Brendan Morrison, and Naslund, which I got all of them signed, which was pretty cool.
The West Coast Express.
Yeah.
What do you got there, Ryan? What do you got there, bud?
Just to rub it in a little bit, I'm the one that helped Mike get that autograph completed.
Good.
I got the Pettersson autographed here with an autograph All-Star puck by Pettersson.
Nice.
I got my kitchen's just got a whole bunch along the top of all the current Canucks. I got the Besser and a Besser autograph puck as well. This one's my favorite. Up here, we got that's the Quinn Hughes, Pettersson, and Besser all's autographed picture.
Wow, that's a good one.
And then I got the Sedins with Naslund right below. And then over here, I ran into the Sedins one day out for lunch, so I got a picture of them up there with Sutter and Edler as well. So then when I seen them at UBC that time, I got them all to quickly sign it and got it completed with their jersey retirement tickets autographed, and I got the pucks from that day, and I collected the hats from that day. And
we go to almost all the games, me and Ryan, like literally.
Really?
Yeah.
And you guys are good buddies, obviously.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we go to all the games together, basically. So. Oh,
that's great. That's great.
We don't miss a Canucks game. We do not miss a Canucks game, no matter what it takes. I do not miss a Canucks game.
What do you guys think about the North Division? Fun to watch this year, won't it?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a lot of battles. There's going to be a lot of battles.
And I think because from a ticket holder perspective, I think it's awesome that you're going to see these teams battle back and forth and build up this rivalry. And then we're all going to go back to normal where, you only see the Leafs one time, but now that builds up that rivalry so much that ticket prices are just going to skyrocket.
Yeah, good point. I agree.
I'm going to be able to sell my ticket for that game for make my money back.
What do you think? Is Toronto the favorite, do you think, to win the division, and Ottawa finish in the bottom?
It's got to be Vancouver's got to be number one to win the division.
I hope so.
I personally think Vancouver too. I think everyone here saying we lost these guys, but we didn't really lose that much. I mean, Markstrom for Holtby, I think, is on par. I mean, Holtby's won everything. Markstrom's never won anything. Holtby's already been there. He's done that. And then, we pick up Nate Schmidt. I think that kid's incredible. I think that was the pickup of the year for us. And I think he's going to be a great transition. He's that much better than Troy Stetcher and that much better than Tanev that I think he'll just bring so much more to the table for us.
No, I think it's really a wide open division. I think Ottawa is going to finish last personally, but that's just me. But after that, I think it's wide open.
Ottawa's going to be scary, though, in a couple of years. They got some young rookies and young talent coming up. They're going to be scary.
This year, I don't think so. What do you think?
No, they're going to be bottom.
I hope they let the kids play. I mean, we still got another year of Louis' contract, but the and the Wongos recapture. But I'm hoping we can get the horrible contracts off the books, and then we can start letting the young kids come in and play, like the Hoaglanders and the Podkolzens, the Cole Linds.
Yeah. Well, the one player that I whenever I see, we have a fun little joke, is Jake Vertanen, because of course he wears my number. And whenever I see Jake, he now knows, I know Darcy, make 18 famous, right? I said, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's
So I'm
probably
hoping
one of
Jake
the
has a
nice.
good year. He'll have a chance in the top 6, I would think.
Yeah.
Yep. He's one of my
Yeah.
favorite guys, honestly. My favorite players in the Canucks is Jake Vertanen.
Nice.
I hope he can transition into being to what he can, because I don't think he's had his potential yet. I honestly don't. I think he's watching him play for Calgary in the WHL. Like, the kid was a stud. He's got so much skill, and at the World Juniors, and I think he's just a couple years back. I mean, sometimes there's a late blossomer, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I hope that's the case too.
I just hope he gets the chance to actually get a chance on that top 6 and leave him there. And it might take him a few games. He might not produce in the first couple games, but if you leave him there, he's only going to develop the chemistry with Horvat. And
Yeah, I think he'll play with Horvat to start with, don't you think?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Darcy, what do you think of that new lacrosse goal they're doing, the Michigan goal or the lacrosse
Yeah,
goal?
it's a pretty impressive goal. It was never in my era for sure. That's pretty awesome. How they can do that? Oh my goodness.
That's what Kearnsey says too. Kearnsey said the same thing. I don't know how the hell they do that. And he goes, Bobby Orr didn't even have stick tape.
Exactly.
It's tough to do. I can get it up at least off the ground. I can scoop it and get it up, but I can't. I've never been able to do it in a game yet. I've tried in a game.
Yeah, no, I agree. So how did you guys get to know each other?
We actually, I don't know how we actually first met. We met through friends, I think. Nick Thomas, one of our good friends, we met through, and then we just became friends. And we're both sports nuts. We love our football. We love our hockey. So
I used to also do events down in Port Moody, and like I would hold like nightclub events where I'd bring in performances and stuff to the Point Pub in Port Moody, where Mike used to be the security bouncer, and that's I think how we first started meeting.
Oh, good.
And we're talking almost 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, Darcy, I can't thank you enough, man, for taking the time for us today. It meant a lot to us to be able to talk to you and chat and learn some cool stories and stuff like that. We'd love to get on any of the Canucks alumni. If you could put in a good word with us and help us out. Obviously, we've had Kearnsey and we've had Tony Tanti. We've had Kirk McLean. I've tried to reach out to other guys like Thomas Gradine I can't get a hold of, and Stan Smeal I'd love to get on, but we can't find contact. So if you could put in a good word for us and help us out, I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, you guys have been awesome, and be happy to do that. Big Mike and Ryan, you guys have been great. And do you have a picture of me at all? Let me just show you one. Wait 1 second.
I do. I have one. I'll be putting it in the video.
Can I send? This is one of the pictures. It's in black and white, but wait. I'll show you, Ryan. Is that me scoring the 41st goal?
Okay.
And ironic is against Chicago, and it's the first Canuck ever. So I'm more than happy. It's only black and white. If you guys want one of these,
sure. That would Michael say yes to that as well too. Yeah, I did last year when the Canucks held their thing for ticket holders. You could come skate on the ice.
Oh, right, yeah.
You were out there, and I was out there too. So.
No, I said you look familiar. Exactly.
Yeah.
Darcy, you can't tell me I don't have any of you. Look at this stud.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's one. I was just saying. Big Mike to Ryan. One of the pictures I give out is in black and white. I've got those too, but this is kind of a collector's one. It's me scoring my 41st goal.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'm a member of the BC Sports Hall of Fame.
Yes,
I'm a
you
member
are.
of the BC Hockey Hall of Fame. I'm more than happy to hook up with you guys and give you one of these if you like.
I would love that, Darcy. I would love that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Whereabouts is you're both in Coquitlam? Well, I'm more than happy to deliver it.
I think I've run into you at the Tim Hortons too on Como
Blue
Lake
Mountain
and
Austin.
Blue Mountain in Austin. Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
we can
I'm right across the street from the John B. pretty much.
by the Pizza Hut and that.
In that area, yeah, right around there. I just bought my place a couple of years ago over here, It's a little bit of a ghetto neighborhood, but at least our building's great.
I'm just thinking, I can go for a little drive, and I can meet you guys to give you this right now if you want.
Yeah.
I'll let Mike figure it out.
Yeah, you can always come meet me, Darcy, or I got your number, and I'll just text you when you're around. Whatever, just let me know. You don't need to drive around right now.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I feel bad. I don't want you leaving your house right now. I feel bad. No. Just relax, and whenever you're around, just give me a text, and we'll meet up.
Okay, I'll do that. And I'll send it to each one of you personally. How's that?
Thank you. That would be awesome. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. Just to have for great interview, guys. It was fun.
Of course. Thank you, Darcy, and thank you very much again.
First class. I want to say thank you very much. First class, and it was great. You guys are great. And Canuck fans, that's fantastic. Who's your favorite Canuck? Is it Horvat? It can't be Burry right now. Who's your favorite Canuck now?
I gotta go with Horvat.
Yeah, and for me, it's probably got to be Horvat, just for the way he's treated us every single time that we've met him. So I'd probably say Horvat, but Pavel's my all-time favorite.
Pavel, yeah, no, a good choice, and Horvat is a classy young man. Yes, very classy. When just another little story. When last year, of course, was the 50th anniversary, were you guys at the game when they recognized the 82 team December the 7th?
Yeah.
Yes, we were.
We and they wanted, none of us play hockey anymore. And Tommy Gradine plays a bit, but not much. But I don't play. If our alumni play, I'll go referee our alumni game. And Schneps, he couldn't skate anyway. I played with him in junior, so I can say that about Schneps. And Richard, of course, is in Kelowna. He's now an artist. And Steamer doesn't skate at all. So, but they really wanted us to skate on for this recognition of the 82 team. And so I went to a couple of our Wednesday skates prior and put full equipment on, skated, because I knew I had to skate from the Zamboni to center ice. And so we're getting dressed in a room at Rogers Arena, and they're telling us what's taking place. And we're going to skate, Thomas and I will skate from the Zamboni to center ice, and the rest of the guys will come up for the players bench. Just 10 minutes before we go on the ice, the organizer comes in and says that the coach, Travis Green, wants you guys to come in the room and wants to introduce you to the guys. And so as we're working our way to go to the Zamboni entrance for the guys to walk on from the players bench, we entered the dressing room. The players were all sitting there ready to go. And Travis was fantastic. He just said, basically that this was a special group that made the final for the first time in 82 and introduced each one of us. And just look at these guys. They're a big part of this organization. They're going to get recognized tonight. And it was really neat for that first of all to take place. And of course, skate on the ice. And now I'm thinking, don't fall, Rota. Don't fall. So got to center ice. And of course, Horvat came out with towels, which you knew was going to happen. Of course, we raised the towels to bring back memories. Pretty special.
Kernsey said the same sort of thing to us. Kernsey said when they represented all the decades, he was representing the 70s, and he hadn't skated for years. And he said that he actually went down to Hollyburn with his wife, and he was using the actual pushy cart just to make sure that he could make it to center.
I know. I wasn't that bad. He told me the same thing. He's for sure. Yeah.